Hey guys, it's MALPS here, and I know it's dark in here, and I do apologize. I'm currently recording this at 11 in the morning, and all that. So I thought I'd do a mental health update of 2025. And I'm gonna try to be as raw and real as possible because that's what I like to try to do. But it's not easy for me to do in recording because I'm probably not gonna look at this video anyway. But I like to talk about things because I think it's a good thing to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. This video is gonna be split up into sections though. So I will admit 2025 has been, I don't want to be pessimistic about it, but it has been one of the most challenging years in my book. And some of the years before that, have been challenging too. But this year has really hit me on the wall, it's like, I don't know, but so I'll split this up into sections for you. So number one is generalized anxiety. So I think I've struggled with anxiety since I would like to say maybe 6th grade, because that's why I start to feel actually anxious. I don't really remember being anxious at a younger age, but I maybe might have, I'm not sure, to be honest. I do remember, constantly going to the principal's office complaining about, a stomach ache and, having to go home. And, I'd be better. But to be honest, I think, I have a bit of a, connection, with my mother, that, it's very close. And I think, we've been close, mother and, daughter, we've been close, for, since, I was young. And I remember having a breakdown, when I was in 1st grade. I did not, want to go to school, whatsoever. Because, I didn't want to be away from her. I didn't. So, but that was a real hard time for me. But besides those times, I did okay in school. So, but 6th grade, I would complain, about a stomach ache, go home, and then I would be okay, I think, in any way. There's just so much I'm trying to figure out right now, and I'm trying to slow down and talk about these sections at a time. But I think that's all I remember with my younger ages of generalized anxiety. But I bring it up because I'm struggling with it a lot more now. Because now, I'm complaining about, my chest being tight and, my heart racing and my thoughts racing. And come to think of it, I think I struggled with this years ago. I mean, on my, if you guys remember on my channel, I mean, I made, a video, about my anxiety. But, yeah, I think I struggled with that for a couple years. And, you know, I mean, I was looking back at my old videos as of recent. And I was talking about, you know, I mean, I was dealing with my negativity issues, as I would call it. And I would put myself down a lot. I have this habit of, like, you know, like, I guess downgrading myself and, you know, like, you know, like, I always felt like an outsider, like, you know, out of everyone else. Kinda. And, you know, I mean, it was kind of pointed out in one of my friend's streams. Like, ETHB026's streams, I think I kind of, like, opened up about it a little bit. Not too much, just because, you know, I mean, well, I mean, it's his stream, so I didn't mean to. But, you know, I mean, I have this habit of, like, you know, I mean, like, putting myself down for, like, you know, everything. So, that's that. I kind of have a hard time, you know, I mean, loving myself. And I still do to this day. And, you know, I mean, like, I, you know, always have these thoughts, like, you know, I mean, like, I'm gonna die, or, you know, have a heart attack, or, you know, I mean, like, I have, like, some sort of health issues. Something like that. And, you know, I mean, health anxiety, I still have health anxiety as of today. I still think, like, you know, I mean, I'm gonna have lung cancer, or, you know, I mean, like, a heart attack, or stuff like that. And I think some of it comes from the internet, like, you know, I mean, like, I remember a brain pop thing I watched as a young kid about smoking, and, like, if you smoke, then something, you know, I mean, like, could happen to you. You know, I mean, smoking's, like, obviously not good for you. It's not. I mean, you know, I mean, I can't imagine, like, you know, I mean, inhaling, like, literal smoke into your lungs. Stuff like that. I mean, which is why, I mean, I'm never planning to smoke. But, I mean, the thing that got me, and I theorized that I think I had health anxiety since I was a young kid, I think. Because, I would get scared about smoking since, you know, I was young, and secondhand smoke, and I would think, like, oh my god, I'm gonna get lung cancer and die. Sometimes, I mean, I would think, like, oh, I'm gonna die in my sleep. Something like that. And that's, like, you know, anxiety is, like, a reason why, I mean, I'm struggling with insomnia. Because, I mean, I would, you know, automatically have, like, pains in my chest, and, you know, I mean, like, anxiety about sleep. So, that's why, you know, I mean, I would be on my phone a lot to, I don't know, distract myself. But, you know, there's that. But I would have this, you know, really bad habit of, like, you know, putting myself down and all that stuff. Like, I would name, you know, I mean, some stuff, but I mean, hey, this is a video, so I mean, I can't really right now. Just because, you know, I don't know, I mean, sometimes, I mean, I would get, you know, stuff, like, I mean, stuff to say to myself from the internet, or sometimes, you know, I mean, I would literally think that about myself. But, you know, yeah, there's that. Okay, so, next topic. OCD. So, I have obsessive compulsive disorder. And, I say that because, I think I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, the early symptoms of OCD. I did not realize it, but I think it started in 2021. But I didn't pick up on it, but that's just because, you know what I mean, I don't want to stereotype someone with, like, you know what I mean, OCD. But one of my symptoms was literally checking the door, like, you know what I mean, like, every, like, I don't know how many times, but I think that habit broke just because, I don't know why it stopped, but it just did. But here's why I have OCD. So, some time ago, and these two are gonna click in a second. So, as of right now, I have strong amenophobia, which is the fear of vomiting in this case. For a while, I couldn't even say the word vomit. I couldn't say it. I couldn't say puke. I couldn't say anything like the blah, like that. But, you know, so I remember, and the trauma, you know what I mean, still lives with me right now. And, you know what I mean, like a standard standard, I'm sorry. But, I mean, like a person would go up to me and be like, you know, I mean, what's so bad about it? Well, I mean, I remember walking into my mom's room, right? I don't know what happened. I think I was gonna talk to her. I felt something off in my stomach, and then I just did it. Like, I just puked, and I had no idea why. And I analyzed every single thing that happened. I remember the sound, the gagging, the nausea feeling, the stuff that was coming out of my mouth, like, everything that happened, and, you know, and then the shakiness afterwards, the whatever. I remember every single symptom, or sensation of throwing up after that. So, and then all of a sudden, you know, I mean, when I got that fear, I started remembering, like, every single memory that, you know, when I actually got sick, you know, like, you know, with a stomach bug or something, like, you know, as people would do when they're kids, because kids don't wash their hands or whatnot, but I remember, like, every single one of them, and they stuck out to me a lot more. And then, I don't know, like, the fear right now is, you know, one of the reasons why, you know, I mean, I haven't gone out much at all, unless if I really have to. But, you know, I mean, I don't in general, just because, you know, I mean, you know, I mean, I just think that, you know, I mean, there's someone out there that, you know, I mean, that is sick, you know, I mean, with that, you know, I mean, that type of thing, and, you know, I mean, it's gonna get to me, and then, you know, I mean, you know, it's, you know, so, and, you know, I mean, I have, like, you know, these compulsions, you know, I mean, where I would tighten up my stomach. I've been doing that kind of less, but, you know, I mean, these days. But, you know, I mean, I would have, like, obsessive thoughts about, like, you know, puking, and, you know, it happens every single day. And, you know, it's ridiculous. Like, I hate it, and it should not be a thing. Like, that impacts, you know, other people's lives. And I've seen videos on YouTube where people talk about their amenophobia stories. And, I mean, obviously, I mean, it affects people differently. But, I mean, either way, I mean, it sucks, and, you know, I mean, it shouldn't be a thing. Like, I don't know, it really sucks. Like, something, you know, I mean, just hits you so traumatically, and, you know, I mean, I don't know, like, you just remember every single thing. Yet again, you know, I mean, there were some instances that, you know, I mean, you know, vomiting did come into play. And I would get scared of that. Like, you know, my mother had, like, a gallbladder problem, and she had to have surgery for it. And I was in 3rd grade. Like, she was on the floor, and, you know, I remember, like, she was complaining, like, about stomach problems. So she had to go to the hospital, and she was crying, like, really hard, and then all of a sudden she had, like, a bag, and then she just, like, puked, and I freaked the hell out. as a young kid, so I don't know, I mean, but, so, there's that. So, now, next topic, which is, depression. So, I've heard of this topic talked about a lot, and, I never, like, truly understood it because, I mean, I don't think I've went through it. But the interesting thing is, I mean, my mother told me, I did show symptoms of, like, depression, I mean, starting at, like, 6th grade. I just don't remember it. But I think this year I have been showing signs of, like, depression. I would get this, like, heavy feeling, like, I'll describe it to you. I would describe it as, like, like a boulder, I mean, like, coming onto you, like, hitting you, and, like, just coming onto your head, living in your head, and then, I mean, you just kind of, like, you just feel like, I mean, laying on the couch, and then, I mean, like, you just, I mean, you just lose interest in everything that you used to do, which freaks me out, by the way. Like, I remember, like, I used to have passion for things, like, I mean, my, like, hanging out with friends, and, I mean, my, like, calming stuff, and, well, anything that I would do on my channel, like, I mean, wholesome things, all that stuff, like, I used to have passion for that stuff. But, I mean, like, that depression, I mean, just kind of takes that away, because, I mean, it's just, like, I mean, and plus perfectionism, I think it kind of plays with, like, OCD in a way. Because it's like, I mean, I would always worry about, I mean, if things aren't going right, or will go right. Because, I don't know, I just worry about that a lot. And, I mean, it really just, it takes away, I mean, like, that fun time. And plus, get this. I mean, I created, calming, I mean, to help me through hard times, since I was a child. And, like, someone with, like, anxiety nowadays, I have a hard time relaxing. Let me ask you guys something. How do you relax at this point? How do you enjoy yourself? Like, how do you do that? Like, I can't do that nowadays. Like, I can't go through, like, a moment, I mean, where I'm not anxious, or I'm not, like, whatever. So, I don't know, it's something, but, it's, it's hard to, feel happy again. And it's hard, to look back on my past, like, my good times, because, it hurts. Because, I mean, I was able to, like, I mean, have fun with my friends. I was able to, feel not as anxious. That's why, I mean, I don't really look back at my good times that much, because, I mean, I will get hurt. So, yeah. Depression, I mean, gets me all, like, pessimistic, and, just thinking, I mean, just, blech. I mean, it gets me to act all angry and all, like, well, sad being an understatement. Because I just feel, I mean, heavy and, like, not motivated and stuff. So, there's that. So, yeah, and so, now, I was talking with my therapist, and, I'm gonna bring up, Jacksepticeye into this topic because, first of all, he, has, been a person that, you know, I mean, would help me through my depressive states. He actually kind of helped me through one of them yesterday. Because I was breaking down. Like, I would have these like, sometimes, like, you know, when I have depression, and, you know, I would break down and cry, and, you know, I mean, it would just last for me, like, 30 minutes. And then it would stop. Like, I have mood swings. But just hearing him talk about, like, you know, I mean, real topics, you know, helps me calm down. So, yeah, you know, that's something, that's great. Like, it's weird, you know, I mean, I remember, like, getting into him in 2018, you know, I mean, like, you know, I mean, I was a fan. And I still am. It's just, you know, I mean, he was teaching me, like, you know, I mean, all these things about mental health, and, you know, I mean, I didn't, like, start, like, struggling, like, as much until, like, maybe, like, you know, I would say 2022 or something like that. It just appeared to me, like, you know, a lot in 2025. So, just, you know, I mean, hearing him, you know, I mean, talk about, you know, like, these real topics, you know, like anxiety and depression, you know, I mean, just, you know, it helps me, because, you know, I mean, it lets me know that, you know, I mean, I'm not alone. So, and, you know, I mean, it sucks that, you know, I mean, it's hard for me to actually feel things due to my depression. Like, feel happiness and feel love and feel, all that. And feel motivation, passion, and relaxation. It's like, you know, it's hard to feel that, you know, I mean, due to these things right now. Going back to the, you know, emetophobia thing, like, my body, like, my emetophobia is so strong, it can mimic, nausea, quote unquote, and I don't know when I'm, like, you know, truly nauseous. So, I panic, you know, I mean, like, you know, about that, and, you know, I'm like, oh god, like, I mean, is this true nausea? And then I rock back and forth, and, like, in panic, and all that, and stuff. So, if you see my TikTok, Jack actually talked about his recent experience about puking. And oddly, you know, I mean, I normally, you know, I mean, I don't appreciate, you know, I mean, I say this, you know, sarcastically, but, I mean, I don't appreciate, you know, I mean, people talking about their times of puking, but with him, you know, I mean, I, for some reason, just didn't mind. I don't really know. Well, I think it's just because, you know, I mean, like, knowing him, you know, I mean, for the past couple of years, I mean, you know, I mean, he's a genuine person, and, you know, I mean, he's, you know, like, knowing him, you know, well, he's been raw and, you know, I mean, open as possible, which, you know, I mean, I think hugely inspired me to be raw and open as possible. So, which is the reason why I'm doing this video. So, next topic, which is two possibilities, I'm not sure, to be honest. But I possibly could have autism and ADHD. And now, when I say this, I don't want to stereotype anyone with these types of things. But this, I'll give you some reasons. So, so, with, I've been having a hard time adjusting to change. Like, change for me really upsets me. Like, I've had, like, such a great childhood and a great, times and all that stuff. And to see that it feels like it's going away, like, it really upsets me. And, it really just, it makes me upset. And plus, I'm sensitive to noise. So when I hear the dog bark, when I hear, people even raise their voice even a little bit, like, in a negative way. Like, if it's a positive way, then I don't mind. Maybe if it's in a negative way, then I get upset. I get, meh, So, it's a possibility that, I'm autistic. I don't know for sure. Which is why, I'm inspired by Jack, and I'm gonna get tested soon. So, for autism. And, ADHD, I have been having a hard time focusing. Even on shows, on TV, when I watch things. So, this is another reason why I'm frustrated. when I have a hard time, enjoying things, because I have a hard time focusing. Like on TV shows, like it's either that or I just, I lose interest. So it's, I don't know, but. And I have a hard time, putting the puzzles, or putting the information together, so I'm just I lose the information, I'm like, where were you? So, I don't know, possibly autistic, possibly ADHD, I don't know yet, it's not confirmed yet. But, yeah, so. And I want to tell you something, I was digging deeper into myself, and I think I'm possibly negatively or mentally affected by, the previous community that I was in years ago. And this is a hard topic to talk about, but you guys remember the Go Anime community, right? Yeah. So, people, have depended on me in that community. And would turn to me if things were wrong. So, and I felt important. I felt like I mattered, and I needed to fix things and wanted to make things right. And I know most people in that community, I'm aware that, most of them were, immature and all that. Obviously, there's some pluses that, I've noticed. But, freaking trust issues. But, so, yeah, what I'm trying to say is, I think I've been taken advantage of my kindness. So, I'm theorizing that, the Go Anime community has negatively affected me that way. Speaking of which, it's not only Jack that has brought comfort to me. It's different things that have brought comfort to me. Now, I'll give you some things that, have brought me comfort as of recent. It's things that, that would teach me life lessons. It's either that or just nostalgia of itself. Now, I have a hard time expressing my inner child because, I feel like, you're 21 and, you have to, freaking, I don't know, all that. You have to, grow up, basically. So I have a hard time, expressing my inner child. So, but luckily, people like Steve Burns, for example, his podcast is coming soon. He talks about different things, and like people like Steve Burns, he has talked about he has had depression while making the show Blue's Clues. And when I first heard that, I'm like, what? Like, I never would have saw that. I mean, it's the same thing with, Jacksepticeye, when, when he was diagnosed with autism, I'm like, I didn't see that at first. But, it's like, these little things that, I'm learning about. I'm like, oh, okay. But this is the thing, like, I want to understand people, but I have a hard time focusing and understanding, and I have a hard time getting all this information. And, I have a hard time, like, collecting a lot of information at once. So, like, you may look at me and, think that I'm just some, I'm not a good person, but, in reality, I want to help. Sometimes I just don't know how to. And, I might not be able to focus just because, either my mind is somewhere else or I don't know, but and I have a hard time standing up for myself because, sometimes, like in therapy, I'm just kind of like, I shut down because, I just don't want to talk. So, it's a matter of, like, I didn't understand. Because I have a hard time understanding things most of the time. Because that's the hard time of the internet, I have a hard time understanding what people are trying to talk about. So, back to what I was saying, getting off topic again. So, there's Steve Burns, right? And, he would teach life lessons, and, he has the kids, which is great. And, I grew up with the show. And, so there's that. So, in a show that, that's been getting bashed on, as of recent for the dumbest reasons, and it's sad, it's Daniel Tiger. And I'll tell you why Daniel Tiger has been giving me comfort as of recent. It's because, he would teach life lessons about, like expressing your emotions and, like things, are different and, you are special just the way you are. Because I think a thing with autistic people sometimes is that they mimic, other people. And I could imagine, it would be a hard time to see yourself, your true self, when you're kind of doing that. But, yeah, and he teaches, things, like, there's new things that you can try and, and all that. And it's, I'm driven to, like, life lessons in music. I think my mind and my ears, have been driven to, like, music and, like, stuff like that for years. So, put those two together, it's, like, it's easy for my mind to digest. And, I'll tell you something else that's been bringing me comfort. Is oddly, the traditional, like, go anime, like, like, grounded videos. Now, let me explain. It's because, of the simplicity of, back then. It's like, it's just something so like pleasant that, like, it's just as simple as, like dragging and dropping a character and then, you just do a simple plot. And sure, there's like repetition in it sometimes, but sometimes people need that. And, you know, like, especially, like, you know, I mean, if it's, like, you know, something, you get these questions, like, you know, I mean, why is, like, this character saying, like, the letter O, you know, I mean, like, a couple times, or, like, the grounded phrase repeatedly. Most people probably put it in just because, I mean, they probably feel like it. I mean, to me, it was pleasant to the ears. And, you know, I mean, it's like, you know, I mean, that's part of the reason why I did it. Because it was just nice to listen to. And it kind of felt like, you know, like music in a way. You're probably looking at me being like, come on. But I don't know, it felt good to listen to. And yeah, so, yeah, I, like, as of now, I'm trying to figure out, like, what's been going on with me. And, just know that as of now, I mean, I go through this pretty much every day. Like, you know, I mean, I want to be able to, you know, relax. You know, in general, like, I want to be able to, you know, sit back and, you know, I mean, like, say that, you know, I mean, it's okay, you know, I mean, to, you know, I mean, just, you know, have fun with your friends, or if not fun, you know, I mean, just hang out in general. Or, you know, like, I don't know, like, it's okay to do anything, really. I mean, that's what I'm able to get out of life, and I want to be able to not overthink and not, you know, be perfect about things. That's why Lori Berkner is another, like, you know, comfort thing to me too, because I mean, she has songs about, like, big feelings. Same thing with Sesame Street. It's been a comfort thing to me too, because they talk about, like, you know, big feelings and stuff. And you know, the big thing, you know, to add to the icing on the cake, to the expired cake, if you will, it's a hard thing to mention. My grandma passed away, like, due to cancer. And I forgot when it happened, but I remember hearing the news. And it didn't affect me at first, but then reality, you know, I mean, kind of hit, and then, you know, I mean, I don't know, so, I mean, like, imagine, you know, I mean, like, going through all what I just talked about, and then, you know, I mean, that happening, and then I have to sit there and, you know, I mean, watch, you know, I mean, my mother cry, you know, I mean, like, for, you know, I mean, I feel terrible, I mean, just bringing it up, you know, I mean, if I'm, you know, like, sad about it, and, you know, I mean, I feel like I can't talk about it, because then I make her sad. So, yeah, my grandma, you know, has been fighting it, and, you know, it, you know, I mean, we were hoping that she would make it through, but that unfortunately didn't happen. But, I mean, thankfully, you know, I've been finding comfort, you know, in terms of, like, death as well. You know, I mean, again, you know, Daniel Tiger and, you know, Jack, you know, I mean, Sesame Street even. I've been finding comfort in those too. So, you know, Jack talking about his dad and, you know, I mean, and what happened with him and all that, so. Things have been really hard. But, you know, I mean, I've had a few lights, you know, I mean, I feel like this room, you know, I mean, kind of represents, you know, I mean, my darkness, and, you know, those candles over there represent, like, the bit of lightness, you know, if that's a good representation. It's, been interesting, you know, I mean, to learn about, like, different mental health struggles and what, you know, people go through. I've been actually doing research on different things like autism and, like ADHD and like different things. Because I mean, yeah, I know some people that I know, like my friends, like, like Katie, Etherb0206, Stone, and other people too. They're on the autism spectrum. And Jack as well, he's on the autism spectrum too, so I've been trying to learn about that. And plus, I've had a heart for, like, that type of stuff, because I had a friend, named, Josh. And, he has autism as well. And, I mean, if I think about it, I think he has kind of a more severe case, because I remember, like, one time he like accidentally punched a kid, and I just stuck up for him, because I'm like, wait a minute, like, I mean, he's my friend, I mean, he wouldn't do something like that. I didn't know at the time what it was, but I mean, looking back, I think that's what it was. So yeah, a lot of things, I'm learning, but, it's hard to pick up on every single thing. I mean, I still beat myself up to this day, and, I mean, it's, but just know that, I mean, I have comfort, from different things, and, I mean, there's different things I'm struggling with, like, sometimes, I mean, when people, have, like, a different opinion on things, I feel like I have to follow them. Which is, that's another thing I'm trying to work on, is having my own opinion on things. So I don't, like, I'm trying to find my own sense of, like, thoughts and purpose. Because literally, I mean, I think all I can think about is feeling anxious and, like, sad and, all that stuff, so, that's kind of it for me. I don't know how long this video is. I think it's pretty damn long. And I think another, thing that I can suspect, I mean, I might be autistic, is that, I mimic people. That's not always the case with, I mean, like, every autistic person. But, I've been, doing that with, like, different people. Like, I would follow, like, I'll give you an example, like, I mean, I've been following, I mean, Etherb0206's opinion on, I mean, like, different things, or, like, just, mimicking, like, I mean, what other people would do and say. So, it could be, again, not confirmed. So, yeah, I'm just trying to figure some stuff out, and, I want to thank, I mean, the support, I mean, I've been given, I mean, like, throughout these past couple of years. I mean, I know it's been really hard to get through. I mean, especially the people, like my family and, my friends, and Jack included, because, I mean, he's inspired me to, get to know about these types of things, including myself. I mean, they've all brought comfort in different ways. And, I mean, it's great, to have them here with me. So, yeah, that's gonna do it for this, 2025, mental health update. As of right now, I mean, I'm on an antidepressant that, I mean, that helps me, well, is trying to help me, me through these things. It's a antidepressant that, I think I've been on before, just on a higher dose, so, I think, right now, I mean, it's just trying to adjust, and, I mean, I'm hoping that it'll work. So, yeah, I've been doing little things too, like ASMR. Like, ASMR is, like, I mean, another thing that, I mean, that helps me, focus. like, ASMR sometimes gets negatively talked about, which, you know, I understand, you know, their perspective, but, you know, for me, you know, ASMR, you know, helps me refocus, and, you know, helps me get to a state of calm, you know, which, you know, if you talk about, like, you know, like, Jacksepticeye plus ASMR, that's just that's a 2-in-1. Anyway, so, just trying to figure things out, and trying to, you know, I don't know. Anyway, so, yeah, I think that's gonna do it for me. I'd like to, you know, see what you guys think about this in the comments, or, you know, if anything is going on with you, I would love to hear about it. So, yeah, that's gonna do it. So, yeah, this is MALPS, signing off. Bye, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video, or live stream. Bye.